Now, obviously, Clarke, you've got a lot of energy.
Too
I
much.
can tell that. You just come back, from Universal Studios. Congrats on that week away. That was amazing. And you're also doing the London Marathon. Where does this energy come from?
I think losing your sight makes you, like I said, makes you a better person, but makes you realise, we live in a world made for visual people. There's no two ways about it. And I don't want to have any regrets. I suppose also COVID, in a way. COVID has kind of made you realise that life is too short.
Yeah.
Life is too short to think about, I'm losing my sight, I'm just going to sit on the couch all day and just listen to an audiobook, I wanted to better myself, I've had no help from the government to get to this point. No help from the job centre. As soon as I found out that I was losing my sight, that's it. They don't have. So it's taken me 5 years to come off benefits to get to this point in my career, and that's amazing, isn't it? I've done it all by myself, and with the connections that I've made, and it's all about connections. So the energy comes from that, and also, I don't know if you know about this. So my daughter is 9 years old, and she has mild cerebral palsy, as well as hypermobility. Now, as a 9-year-old, she's in school, she's still in nappies because she doesn't know when she's going to the toilet. She's been constipated for most of her life. That's the bit that affects her most for her ailment. And I'm living in a house, ports of stairs, that are like vertically like this. I'll probably get quite emotional because it stresses me out. This is the only thing that does really stress me out. It's because that's why I work so hard, is I have to carry my daughter down the stairs. Right? My daughter can't access my toilet, so she has to go on a toilet on a little cabin loo that if you go camping on. Right? And I've asked for help. Blue in the face, for the last 5 years. Right? And now, someone from the council came round and literally walked up my stairs and said, oh yeah, it's dangerous. Right? You're going to put in the council list, you're going to be in top of the priority. Turned around and said to me, because I've got savings, right, because I'm not a spender, I can't go on the council list. So I don't have enough money to get a mortgage.
No.
I can't go for a private rented accommodation because it needs adapting. And then I've adapted it. Oh no, like 2 years down the line, I said, oh sorry, we're going to move. So I need either a social housing or I need a mortgage. And I'm stuck. I'm like catch-22, and all I work so hard. The energy comes from that. I just want my daughter to flourish. I want my daughter to start learning mobility skills, for her to start using the toilet, for her to start to use stairs, so when she goes to secondary school, she won't get bullied. That's why I work so hard. That's why I work 100 hours a week. I just need my break. I need a break.
Children are an amazing driver, aren't they? Because to have that, and you hear stories like this where you've got a little bit of money because you want to save up, you want a cushion, but that then prohibits you from then going on and getting a better accommodation for you and your daughter and the special needs that she's got.
Exactly.
That's incredible. Getting me emotional.
It's a vicious circle, isn't it? People say about the benefit system, you've got to go off benefits, but the system doesn't allow you to come off the benefits because it just puts you back. I'm a self-employed artist, right? Which is probably one of the hardest categories to get a mortgage. Let's be honest, right?
I can imagine,
But fortunately enough, I'm with an amazing gallery in London. We talk about, you've got to be in the right place at the right time. And so what I did last year, I did a thing for a charity called the Fishing Foundation, who I'm running the London Marathon for. And I did the tableware for their centenary last year. So I made these little plaques and it got auctioned off, raised £3,000 for the charity. And at that Z Gala was the director of Qantas Gallery.
Is it Qantas as in the airline? Qantas?
No, Qantas,
sorry.
which means
we don't want to give them
Quantus. It means new beginnings, which is a great way. Set in London, Shoreditch, top end gallery, deals with the likes of Banksy and Hearst.
So if people want to find out about Qantas, so
it's on my gallery, literally it's on my website. You click on the link and it's great. And they are an amazing gallery at not just artists, but artists with a cause. At the moment, they've got an artist that's all about addiction and being homeless, which again, which is another thing dear to my heart, my brother. And they really are champion, and they championed me. It wasn't a sympathy thing. It wasn't, I'll give the blind person a go. No, they saw the quality of my work. They gave me a platform, and from that platform, I've took it. And now I've got steady income coming in. I came off benefits. I'm a a director
Yeah.
of my own company,
Nice.
CIC, called Seeing Without Seeing.
Yeah.
And that's why I
And
go.
that's your website. So
Yeah,
Seeing Without Seeing.
and that is my company name. And I go into schools, and I teach Braille to children, and I teach young children because those kids ask questions that adults don't ask about sight loss. And the idea is to break that cycle of what the stigma attached to sight loss is. You know, we talk about blindness being, you're blind, you can't see anything. Only 3% of blind people see nothing.
Yeah.
Every blind person sees something. We're all like a fingerprint. We see differently.
The stigma around, and we were talking earlier, and you said you hate to use the word disability.
I hate it.
Yeah. But that stigma, and we'll have to think up a new word then.
Different ability, I call it.
Different ability. Fantastic.
Yes.
So people with different abilities, that stigma comes on all people with, with that issue. Yeah. Sorry, apologies. So that people can sometimes struggle, like you said, to be able to say, well, how do I even had, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, before coming here and chatting about this, I wanted to make sure that I didn't, have a faux pas. I didn't want to make sure that I say the word see or sight or stuff like that. Yeah, but that's
yes.
Yeah.
But people think that you can't have a conversation with a blind person without stepping on their toes.
Yeah.
And talking about, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Means nothing to me. I'll see you later as well.
Yes.
I say that, and that's, I mean, Pippa, you know Pippa, don't you?
Yeah.
So we were chatting at an event, and she said to me, I'll see you later. Are we going to do the Scouts thing? And I said, yeah. And someone turned around to her and said to me, you can't say that to him. Why not?
Yeah.
It's like, that's the world we live in. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's why? And you talk about, like upsetting me. You don't need to upset me.
No.
There's no, and the word disability it's a very political word. It comes from like the 50s and 60s. And I had this campaign called Taking the Dis. Tongue in cheek, taking the dis.
Nice.
Right? You take away the dis, you become abled and ability.
Yeah.
And it's really strange. So I've had multiple solo exhibitions. I've exhibited all around the world. I've just done an exhibition in India for a charity.
Yes, I saw that.
Which is amazing. I never stepped in India. It was all done by Zoom, and they dubbed me in Tamil. It was hilarious. It was brilliant. And no matter what I do, people still see me and what I do as a hobby.
Really?
Because of the word disability. Oh, I'm a disabled artist. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, you've got a hobby. I was an artist before I lost my sight.
Yeah.
Right? Because I lost my sight, it's a hobby. And that's what I want to change. That's why I want to become famous. I want to be seen to change that. Because when we look at this athletes now, Paralympics, we don't look at them as disabled athletes. We look at them as athletes in their own right. And that model is great.
Yeah.
And that's the model that the creative industry should look on. Artists, people behind the camera, in front of the camera, actors, poets, you name it. We should take that model.
Yeah.
And the industry should look upon how we're seen. We need help. Of course we do. Everyone needs help. I just need, but once we get that tiny little bit of help, I can flourish.
Yeah. So what's next for you then?
Oh my God, what is next?
Yeah, well, I've had a look and I couldn't pin it down to one thing, so I need you to explain.
So the marathon next Sunday. Hopefully, I'm still surviving. Then after that, I'm doing a school in the Greenwich. I'm doing a piece of the artwork that they won at the exhibition I did in January. So I'm going up there to speak to. They've got a visually impaired child up there, so I'll go up there. Then this piece is going to the Affordable Art Fair under the Qantas banner with my other fabs that I've done.
Excellent.
And then I'm a keynote speaker at a conference in London called for assistive technology at CENMAC, which could be really interesting. So I'm doing a keynote speaker, but also I'm doing a workshop with a school that has learning differences and there's visually impaired people in. So I do that. And then I think I've got another school booked in for June. And then,
more Portsmouth schools you want as well?
I want more Portsmouth schools.
Yeah. If anyone's watching this who has any association with a school in Portsmouth that would like Clarke to come and speak or do a workshop, then please let me know. Now we've got some letters here from one that you went to.
Well, it was
one you did earlier. Yeah,
so all via Zoom. So after the amazing success of the exhibition in January, I was on everything, Sky News, ITV, you name it. Yeah. And I got all these amazing emails from schools all around the country. And this school was Windsor. St George's School in Windsor. And we did the whole thing via Zoom. So I had an hour's chat with the Zoom, and the kids were all asking questions, and they did some braille art afterwards. And each child had written me a letter. Now, I only received this 2 days ago. I don't know what any of the letters say. So I'd like you to read one of them in random.
I will read a couple out random. So
Yeah.
I will go through. Let's go for this one here. Okay, so this is from Elliot. So thank you for doing the interview for the whole of year 3. I bet everyone would have learnt something from the interview. I learnt that a small painting would take about 8 hours and a big painting would take about 50 hours to do. I also learnt that the first colour a baby sees is yellow and the last colour you see before you're blind is yellow. We have been painting an artwork with a braille message that you can feel. I was in a group with Zeph, Aidan, Oscar and me. Our message was everyone has a talent. We hope you get a guide dog next year in November and do well in the London Marathon. So that's Elliot. So I'll do one more. Thank you.
Isn't that nice?
I know. And that yellow and yellow.
Yeah.
Right, let's go to here. Here we go. So this is from Grace. So thank you for educating us about Braille and your astonishing artwork which will change the world. Thank you for sacrificing your time to do a Zoom with us. That was very cool. So you're cool now as well. I was very inspired by your work. We've been making posters that have Braille messages on, for example, fly high and believe. We've also made a fact poster about you that was extra work, but it was still really fun. I did not know that you lost your sight at 6 years old. We hope you get your guide dog soon and wish you luck in the London Marathon. We'll be watching you. Good luck, from Grace.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, isn't that amazing?
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
Isn't that like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what the power, we talk about power of art. You know, I'm changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Just by having a conversation with them on Zoom. You know, those children, like me, when I went to a gallery, those children meeting an artist talking about their life will stick for them for the rest of their life.
Yeah. We were talking about teachers earlier and how important it is because of the fact that we both said we remember our junior school teachers and how much of an impression. And that will have the same thing for them, which is amazing. So how do people find out more about you?
Well, it's really quite easy. So I've got my own website. So if I've got a website that I can use as a blind person, anyone
and you
can
created
use it.
that website,
and I
didn't
created
you?
it.
Yeah.
And I pay £60 a year, to do my own website, and it's so easy. And it's called Seeing Without Seeing. .com, and you go in there and you can literally go onto it's linked into my Instagram, which is blind.braille.artist.
You're on Facebook because I'm on
Messenger.
Facebook, yeah.
And I love Instagram, but you know, it's a visual medium. I'm a visual artist, but I don't always put the post of the final piece. Again, it's the journey. People love the little photos I send off how I'm starting a piece, and they love that. And I love it. I at least post once a day on Instagram.
Yeah, because you did that work up the Lido as well, didn't you? The Hillsey Lido. You're out there doing stuff. Which is
I did a little mock-up of it. First time I did a spray paint.
Yeah.
Because hopefully we're going to get that whole wall as seekers to do that. And
it's really good to see that people, from the north of Portsmouth are doing work for something that's in the north of Portsmouth.
It is.
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
Really fantastic.
And that's good. So my website, and I say, if you want to DM me, email me, I always reply. And reach out to me, if you want me to come into the school, or if you want a commission. I'm doing commissions. I'm sorry you have to pay top dollar now, but that's the nature of the business now.
Well, absolutely. And also for the marathon, you're running for Qantas, is that right?
I'm running for Vision Foundation.
Oh, okay.
So Vision Foundation are a London-based charity. So I'll be running this year for them, and then next year I'll be running for Victor, which
You're going to do it again?
I know. I know. So I'm becoming the patron for the charity Victor, which is the vision impaired children's charity and young adults.
Can people sponsor you for the marathon run still?
They can indeed. Literally just go on my Facebook and there's a link to the Infused stuff. 9 days to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite funny because you're talking about how you're doing the training and running around there's a little area just outside.
It's a courtyard.
Courtyard, yes.
Safe courtyard.
I'm getting dizzy because you were running around in circles.
It's a day release from prison, as they say. and either a hamster. So I'm getting really dizzy. It's safe because I'm not getting run over.
Of course.
But very boring.
Yes.
Running around an hour. And it's like I'm like a goldfish in a bowl, and I just keep going and running around, and the scenery doesn't change.
Oh, fantastic. That's going to be an amazing experience as well, running around the streets of London and doing that. Who's your running partner for that?
So
Steve, isn't it?
Steve Baker, aka my talking guide dog.
Your talking guys.
A term and endearment. He loves it now. So when I go to schools with Steve, I introduce him as here's my talking guide dog.
And you were going to give some shout outs to people as well, weren't you? Around. So we've got Steve Baker. We've got Claire as well.
Claire Martin. We are the Three Wise Monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. And I've known him just over 2 years. And it's like a family. They truly are. And Steve is like a brother. And the best thing about those two is they forget I'm blind. and that's what I want. Because when you're blind, you lose friends.
Yeah.
You lose friends because they don't know how to react around you. So you make new friends. And those friends, they just forget. They just treat me like, me and Steve, down the park.
And that's a good message, isn't it? Is to not be any different around someone like that. And that is a very good message. So there's their shout outs. You've got the Three Wise Monkeys on there. That's fabulous. You've got the London Marathon coming up. Well, so much stuff. I mean, we're not going to cover it now, but there is the website, there is Facebook, there is Instagram to find out. So one last question for you, a little bit more light-hearted. If you could spend an hour with someone, living or dead, who would that be?
It's so difficult, but I suppose number one would be Andy Warhol.
Yes, amazing. Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at my artwork, I mean, it's straight out of a page of an Andy Warhol print, and they are touchable prints. And I've just done a series of his Marilyn Monroe famous print, and it's called "What Would Andy Warhol Say?"
Yeah.
So in Braille, it's his quotes, and the idea about chatting to him about how would he like my art? Could we collaborate?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be such an interesting concept, wouldn't it?
It would be interesting to see if what people say about him is what he actually is.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's not always good stuff spoken about how he is to interact with.
No, and you've got the new film coming out, haven't you, with Jared Leto playing Andy Warhol, and that would have been interesting to see how far they take it. So yeah, he would be one. Second person would be a guy called Steve Willett.
Yeah.
Now, Steve Willett, I used to be work as a tattooist assistant, and he was the tattooist. And if anyone knew Portsmouth, you knew Steve Willett.
Yeah.
And he was like a dad to me. He was a great guy. And we always joked about my art, and we was conversations and stuff. And he said, "Oh, give it up. You're never going to get anywhere." And unfortunately, he passed away very suddenly 6 years ago. And he never got to see me do all this amazing stuff. So I'm sure he's up there.
Yeah, having a laugh.
Having a laugh, proper laugh. And as an artist, we love to work in threes, odd numbers, as you do. So the other one would be probably Albert Einstein. The simple reason being, how is my brain working?
Yeah.
I wonder every day, as compared to someone who is not creative and is losing their sight to someone who's creative and losing their sight. I mean, I don't think about blindness because my brain is constantly thinking.
Well, we had a little chat about this beforehand because I've got an interest in neuroscience and how the brain, the occipital lobe at the back here, which does all the visual, how that then repurposes itself to someone who's visually impaired. So it's an incredible thing we've got up there.
It is. So the idea now is I'm making new memories of colour.
Yeah.
We look at my piece, I know it's red, white and blue. I have a memory of the flag and stuff. But I don't see this. Like this does not look like a red, white, and blue. So I'm relying on old memories. So when I create new works with colour, which I do a lot because I'm a visual artist, I'm creating new memories of the tonal differences. So I'm retraining my brain. Yeah. Which is so interesting.
Amazing.
And it's
that it
exciting.
Can do that.
And that leads to the expression is, I love being blind. I can't change the fact. There's no cure. No. So I love being blind. I love telling people about what I do, and I love my art, and I love every day is a new day, learning things. It's it's like when we were at school, you learning things, and you begrudge it. It's like, oh God, I've got to learn something new. But now as an adult, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, well, good luck for the future, Clarke. I knew this would be a great interview. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. We'll almost certainly do this again.
Oh, definitely.
There's so much we can talk about.
I mean, we can talk about life.
Well, absolutely. We
life
can sit
in
here
general,
and chew the fat, can't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'll probably have to break this up into two parts because we've just carried on talking and talking. So there'll be episode 1 and episode 2 on South Sea Matters. Look out for what's to come. I've got Wendy Bard I'm speaking to soon. Please do let me know if there's anyone you'd like me to sit down and have a chat with. Take care and hopefully enjoy the sunshine when it eventually arrives. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you so much.